those of you who might not know who I am, my name's Don Quine. I've been an actor for a bunch of years and did the series The Virginian along with Diane Roeder here. She was in the 4th season, I was in the 5th and a little bit of the 6th season. And they were distinctly different in that regard. But anyway, you had a question, you said?
No, I was just wanting to know more about you.
Oh, about myself, yeah. Did anyone here ever see the series, The Virginian?
Oh, yes.
Also, there are some folks that are aware of it. Okay.
It's on every day here.
Oh, good. Are you? Is it the Inspiration Network? Is that the one that's?
No.
Or Cozy?
Cozy.
Cozy, yeah. Someone had mentioned that it was running on Cozy, which I hadn't heard of.
Roy and you guys, up on Cassidy, and Bill for Wells Fargo.
Oh,
Every day. I know my DVR.
wonderful, wonderful.
I mentioned you last night.
Say again?
I was considered being cast as the Virginian.
You were
I was
considered?
considered it was that, yes.
And then you walked in and they looked at you and they said, "What is he doing here?"
I heard you
You
were
know,
considered.
he's supposed to be.
What, honey?
I heard you were considered for my role, but
Yeah.
didn't look that good.
They told me I had the right features but wrong fixtures.
Yeah, right. No, it was that dress you were wearing. It just didn't work.
That's true.
You needed a better designer.
I was considered that at one time.
Anyway, my background real quickly. A lot of people are interested in, well, how do you get into acting? I never had a clue about it until my senior year of high school in Staten Island, New York, where my girlfriend was on the senior play committee. And they had decided to do a play by a guy named John Barry called The Admirable Crichton. And it was about the butler of a very, very wealthy family that take a ship cruise, and the ship gets, all messed up, and they get stranded on a deserted island, and the butler, whose name was Crichton, has to take over and see that everybody's okay. And it's a kind of a funny comedy of errors that the British did very well. So this is the play they've chosen, of course, and now they want, who's going to play the Admirable Crichton, which was the lead part. Of course, my girlfriend comes to me in desperation about 2 days before they were supposed to have cast the play and everything was going to go on, and saying, "We don't have anybody who'll come and read for the part." And of course, nobody in those days, if you were a guy, would want to be playing any kind of role, especially like that kind of role up on the stage in front of all your peers. That was the last thing. Anyway, she begged me, and she cried, and she said, "You've got to do this, you've got to do this." And really, I felt, like, well, she's not going to be my girlfriend if I don't, because she was that distraught. So anyway, I did this play. And because I did the play, everybody thought it was a hoot, even the guys who didn't want to, do it at all. And so that was my introduction into it. But I immediately forgot about it. Didn't ever think, well, it's over, out, end of discussion. And it was only much later, after I came back from about one semester at the University of Colorado studying pre-med, decided didn't want to do that. Came back to Staten Island and went to another college there and met a group of people that were in the theater arts department. And that kind of did change my point of view about it. And they were interested in the theater and interested in things that sounded kind of interesting to me. Started hanging around with them, went to New York, started seeing some of the off-Broadway shows there. And I thought, this could be okay. And I had a little bit of a scholarship, so I was able to go to an American Theater Wing, was a place where you studied acting, and that increased. And I got an agent. I did an off-Broadway show there, and then went out to Hollywood. I did some tests, got some parts in different television shows. Maybe some of you remember at the time there was one called The FBI. There was another one called A Run for Your Life, Hawaii Five-0, The Fugitive. All of those shows are the ones that I did until I did one called Peyton Place, which was a very big show because it ran 3 times a week, prime time. It was a soap opera, but it was very, very popular. And there is, in the television business, there's a period of time in the spring called hiatus, which means that all the television shows close down, and they'll show reruns, but there's no work for actors. So you basically, you got, your time off or whatever. But my agents picked up the phone, they called me, "Don, they've got a part of this rough guy who comes in Peyton Place, and because, of course, the show is on 3 times a week, they're shooting all the way through the hiatus. And you can make some pretty good loot, you know, and it's not for any time because it's only the guy comes in and roughs things up. Maybe 3 weeks, that's it. And it was out of doing that show that I went, looked at the script. It was dreadful bad, dreadful. Knew the director that was actually shooting that particular show. I'd worked with him before, a guy named Ted Post. And he was lighting this big courtyard thing where it was going to thunder and lightning and all of that. And I came over to him right when he was in the middle of this, and I said, "Hey, Ted, look, this script is absolutely garbage."
Oh,
he
God.
said, "This is the last thing that I want to hear, Don, at this time. I'm trying to make it lightning down here and thunder, and, you know, go do what you want." So I got together with the other couple of actors. I did some rewrites on things and whatever. It gave us a little bit of a kind of a sense of that, you know, we were supposed to be together for some reason. Anyway, what happened from that is that they liked that, decided to give me a mother who was the beautician in town. And then that grew into, I was continuing to do the rewrites, of course, to all the things that came around. And they gave me a father. And then they continued to do the rewrites that I'm doing for free on their part. But the part keeps growing, right? They keep liking the part. And liking the part